Today is not just Maitland and my wedding day, but it is also Pi Day, and we chose this day in part because we're both huge nerds and got very excited about the idea of getting married on Pi Day. Now, to those of you with normal lives, pi is just 3.14159265358979323844626, or how many ever digits you remember. However, pi has a unique combination of properties, where it is not only infinitely long and does not repeat, but it also has a roughly equal distribution of digits. What this means is if you had a program that could search through the entire length of pi, you could find any number you wanted. Here's an example. So obviously the first three digits of pi are 3.14, the day our anniversary will be for the rest of time. But to find the exact day of our wedding, 31426, we must jump to digit number 98,108. And if we want the extremely formal 03142026, we must jump all the way to digit number 648,743,672. And what about the day of our first date? Well, 21024 is found after just 44,296 digits of pi. And for our more formal 02102024, we jump to 432,567,466 digits of pi, which means there are 216,176,206 digits of pi between our first date and our wedding date. Okay, so we've got the bookends. What about some days in between meeting and wedding? Well, we have our second date on 2/15/24, where we bungled movie trivia, Maitland's fateful meeting Jules on 2/24/24, also our first hike together, on the Wissahickon. We would later return here for our engagement on Jules's birthday, 11/22/2024, which was pi digit number 153,962,954. Fun fact, Maitland accidentally planned her own proposal without even knowing it. We had our first of what became many trips to the zoo on 3/10/2024, the first historic site on 4/27/24, a day we made root beer together, May 4th, 2024, and Maitland getting her master's degree on 6/13/24. Of course, things aren't always easy. The same day I knew I wanted to marry Maitland was also the day I got laid off, 8/7/2024. And even worse, on January 11th, 2025, I took Maitland on a tour of a house that was practically falling apart. We both nearly died. We had our first Banana Ball game on 9/21/24. We returned for Banana Ball on 7/26/2025 in Philadelphia and brought family to our next game in Seattle on 9/20/2025. We made our first garden together on 3/25/25, and somehow, most of it survived. One of our favorite spots to visit is Newland Grist Mill, which we discovered on Maitland's birthday, 9/8/2024. We've returned since for hiking, picnicking, historic sites, and just generally giving Jules somewhere to enjoy. We can also look at our relationship by the numbers. Since we have met, we have played over 180 board games. Don't ask who has the better win percentage. We've drove over 6,500 miles together across 7 different states, and completed 40 house and work-related projects. Some of these projects include a storage system for work, painting the house, and building a deck. We have visited 9 national park sites and earned junior ranger badges at all of them. We have hiked over 200 miles together, though that number is probably a lot higher since I am an expert at getting lost. And for anyone wondering how many times we've thrown the ball for Jules, I lost count multiple times while making this, so we'll say it's about 2.5 million times. But we can do more than just dates and meaningful numbers. If we change letters to numbers, we can find words within pi. And in the spirit of celebrating all things pi, here's where each of you fall within pi. We also have those who are no longer with us. In pi, we can find every moment of our lives. First dates, proposals, graduation, birthdays, the little moments, the big moments, and the silly moments, and every other memory. We find every meaningful metric. We find every name of every person who's helped us along the way. We can find them all in one infinitely long number. Happy wedding day, Maitland. I love you.